There's a reason why you're not making as much progress as you want, why you keep getting distracted, why you can't stay focused, why you lack consistency. It's because you have too many goals at once. You wonder why you feel so overwhelmed, so anxious, so lost. You are the only one to blame. You are creating those feelings from putting some pressure on yourself to fix a million different things at the same time. Diverging your attention in so many places drains your energy, and that's what makes you feel less motivated and less likely to be disciplined. So the reason why you are not the high achiever that you want to be is because you have too many goals at once. That's why you need one and only goal. One goal equals more clarity, easier execution, faster progress, and a higher success rate. So why would you self-sabotage by putting many goals when you know that putting one will be faster, easier, and more success? And the mistake that people do is that they will hear advice like mine and still disregard it. But if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting, which are results that are minimal, that are slow, and that are unfulfilling. So let's change that. By today, I'm going to help you pick that goal for yourself. So not only am I getting you hype, making you know and understand that you need one goal, but I'm going to do a step-by-step process, a 10-step protocol that will help you pick that one goal for yourself. And that will increase your chances for success. I know that whatever I will tell you works because it has worked for me. That is my proof. If you don't know me, my name is Bianca St. George and I'm a professional soccer player and I play in the best league in the world, to put simply. I am part of the 1% that has become a professional athlete. So there's a lot of people that play soccer in the US, in the world, and I'm part of the few people that actually does that as a full-time job. And because of that, I'm very familiar with goal setting. And what's amazing is that once you learn the skills of goal setting, it is translatable in so many areas. That's why when I was a student in college, I had the goal to become a top scholar. I was a student athlete, but I wanted to have the best grades. I wanted to have straight A's. And I actually graduated in a pre-med with the highest GPA in my whole class. I had one goal, I prioritized that goal, and I locked it and went all in. And that's what I want you to do for yourself. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. So right now is the perfect time to take your potential seriously and actually go after the dream life that you want. Go all in and lock in. So like I said, the remaining of my video will be to explain the 10-step protocol on how to pick your goal. And if you want to have access to the protocol in a written form, you can have it through my private community in the first link in my description. Starting September 1st, we're doing a challenge where we're going to commit to that one goal. Everyone has their personalized goal, but we will all be there together where we will push ourselves, we will have support and accountability through that platform. So if that's something that you want to sign up and be interested in, you can also do that through that first link in my description. Let's get into it. Your goal pursuit needs to be broken down into 3 interrelated goals. And if you don't understand what I mean by that is your goal basically is a 3-in-1. You have 3 goals that make up one goal. You have your prize goal, you have your performance goal, and you have your process goal. And if you want to look at this graph right here, this can easily be intuitive of what they mean. But let me explain it a little bit more. Your prize goal is basically the desired end result that you want. It's that one thing that feels very obvious that is related to the dream that you want. Your performance goals are basically indicators of your process. They are specific milestones or standards that you're trying to reach that give you some clues that you're on track towards that bigger prize goal. And then the last one, the process goal, is basically the technique or the strategy that is necessary for you to reach that specific milestone. That's the one that changes the most throughout the whole process. And it is broken down into daily actionable steps. So the remaining of the video, part 1, 2, and 3, will be about figuring out those 3 goals all together. And that will be your goal pursuit. Part 1, your prize goal. Step 1 is to visualize your dream life. So you start by visualizing your dream life by first just thinking about your dream life. Be specific about what your dream life looks like. Think about different aspects such as your relationships, your career, your health, your lifestyle, personal achievements that you want. Just let yourself go and think about it. The one thing I want you to do is to not set limits for yourself. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. I truly believe that. You're the only one that's setting limits. So dream big. You I'm giving you permission. You're allowed to do that. And what I like to do is to imagine my dream life about 5 to 10 years from now, because chances are you're like me, you're a high achiever, you're ambitious, you're visionary, you want to be impactful. So whatever you got to do, it's not something that's going to be achieved in a short term, like a 1-year goal. This is something that is bigger. 5 to 10 years is a good way to go, because I think we can change a lot past 10 years. Like, we will be very different people and our desires might change, but we can be a bit more confident that 5 years or 10 years is something that you can thrive for. So let's be visionary right now. So after you've put some thoughts, maybe you could write things down as well, because if you're like me, it's hard to think things through. So I really like to just lay out on paper things that I want, things that I care about, things that I want to see happen. So I will write it down. But then the next step is to create a vision board. You want to gather visuals. You want to collect images, quotes, and symbols that represent your long-term goals and dream. This can be done physically with a poster board where you can print images and everything and you can post it on there, or you can do it digitally with tools like Pinterest, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to give you some examples right here. And you can see that images do speak 1,000 words. So that's why it's so important, because when you see images like a vision board of something that you want, it creates these emotions. And when you feel the emotions, you're more likely to act. And that's what we want to do. We want to create these emotions that are related towards your goals. So then when you act, you are acting towards that vision for yourself. And then the final step is to actually visualize. And you do that by engaging all of your senses. So in your mind, I want you to close your eyes and try to immerse yourself in that experience, in that dream life. View yourself living that. Imagine what you would see, what you would hear, what you would taste, smell, and feel. This is all important, and try to make it vivid. The more vivid and sensory rich your visualization, the more effective it can be. And if you have a hard time doing that on your own, you can absolutely listen to guided meditations. You can go on YouTube and just Google or search how to visualize my dream life guided meditation, and it will guide you through it. In my private community, I put some links in there that are my favorite ones that you can check out. So this is summarizing the first step. You need to visualize your dream life. This is so fun. Step 2, pick a life category. You need to pick one life category that your goal will fall into. And there are 10 life categories that I will put right here. This is where you just need to make a decision. I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, there are so many areas of my life that I want to improve. Like, how can I choose? You just need to pick one. Whatever you pick, just know that you will not make a wrong decision, because any improvement in any of those areas will benefit you. So whatever you do is good. But I think if you really tap down into your intuition, you know which area will be the most impactful and beneficial and can have like a domino effect on your other areas of your life. If I were you, I have suggestions. There are 3 categories that I would consider strongly. I would either do physical health, career or education, or intellectual/skill development. And the reason why I would do one of those is because if you're like me, again, we're high achievers. We are very purpose-driven. We want to be impactful. And those things usually give a lot of return of investment. If you focus on, let's say, improving your physical health, not only will you feel better about yourself, you will have more energy, you will have more focus, you will have more motivation. But the skills that you need to do to be physically healthy, which is, for example, discipline, is something that you can apply in other areas of your life. That's why it's so easy for me to achieve different goals, to be consistent on YouTube, to be disciplined in my self-improvement, is because I have been so good at that in my sport that now I can do it in other areas. So try to pick something that you will know will have impact in your life at scale and can improve your other areas of your life by default. Step 3, define emotions. You want to define the emotions that you want to feel related to that one life category. So if that life category were at its optimal potential, how would that make you feel? For example, if you pick physical health, you might want to feel strong, beautiful, confident, proud, admired. If you pick career, maybe you want to feel respected, thoughtful, supportive, calm, and responsible. If you pick skill development, maybe you want to feel creative, intelligent, focused, productive, and visionary. Really be authentic with yourself and think about the feelings that you want to feel. And the reason why it's so important to do this is because ultimately, what we want in life is not a certain result. It's the feelings that are associated with that. What we want in life is feelings, not things. You want to feel a certain way. So pick right now how you want to feel, and we will pick a goal that will make sure that you feel that way. Do you see where I'm going at? I suggest you pick 3 to 7 words that really represent that life category, like what you aspire to feel. And I have a huge positive emotions list that I can provide you as well right here. And you can print that and access that through my community as well. I'm going to be annoying with that, but like that community is so great and easy to navigate. So I feel like it's a great spot for everything. Now, step 4 is to identify the role. So with whatever life category you picked and the feelings that you have, you want to try to figure out what is that role or title that expresses those feelings? What is this thing in the real world that equates those feelings? And there is no wrong answer here. You can kind of be creative on how you want to do it because not everything has like a title, like a job. It's easy. So example, for your career, you could want to be a manager. You want to be a CEO, a nurse practitioner, a architect. Maybe those titles evoke the feelings that you want. But in other areas like physical health, it could be a little bit more creative. You could be, I want to be like a sober person. I want to be vegan. I want to be a gym rat. I want to be a CrossFitter, a runner. So try to figure out what that role is for yourself. And then finally, let me give you a third example. If you choose skill building, maybe your role is to be a coder, a Spanish speaker, an author, a health coach, a video editor. So whatever role or title you choose, make sure it evokes the feelings that you're trying to have. And I want you to just fill in this blank. In my dream life, I am a, and then insert the desired role that gives the feelings of that chosen category. Step 5, pick your prize goal. Ask yourself, what is this tangible achievement that is necessary for you to own that role that you want? So if you want to be a lean and fit girl, what is this tangible goal that you can set for yourself that literally once you achieve that, that means that you are that person? So maybe for that case, it can be when you are at 18% body fat, you know that you are a fit and lean girl. For another example, let's say you want to be a manager, that tangible achievement that you can set for yourself is to get a promotion. Like once you get that promotion, you will become a manager. And then finally, for a third example, if you want to be a health coach as a side hustle, you need to have 10 clients that pay you $100 monthly. That's when you know that you have made it, that you have achieved your goal as a side hustle. So fill in this blank. My prize goal is, and then insert your required achievement so that I can become and insert the desired role. My prize goal is to be at 18% body fat so that I can become a lean and fit girl. My prize goal is to get a promotion so I can become a manager. My prize goal is to have 10 paying clients so that I can become a health coach as a side hustle. So this is your prize goal, the external requirement that is the proof that you are this new identity. That's what you're aiming for. This is where people make mistake. They usually figure out their prize goal and they think that that's enough. But that goal is so big and far away. It's the big result that you're trying to achieve. So that's why you feel so overwhelmed, because it feels like you can't even tackle it on a daily basis. That's why we have part 2 and part 3, to avoid the mistake, to set that big goal and then let it there and think it's going to happen naturally. That's not how it works. That is simply the outcome. You need to break it down into smaller, actionable goals that are within your control. So part 2 and 3 are going to help you avoid the mistake to stop here and setting yourself up for failure. Part 2, performance goal. Step 6 is to write your rough draft. So I want you to start brainstorming some milestones that align with your prize goal. You already know where you want to end up. Now think about where you're starting right now and how can you bridge that gap from where you are and where you want to be. Think about what are indicators that you can look for that tells you that you are making progress, that you are on track. And don't worry, don't try to plan everything from A to Z. This is the time to just write what comes out of your mind. Like, what do you know that needs to kind of happen? So let's say your goal is to be at 18% body fat. Maybe if you know that you are decreasing body fat over time, that tells you you're on track towards your goal. Like, that is the most logical one. But that can be a little bit unrealistic because not only does that cost money, but it's hard to access body composition technology. So you need to think a little differently. Maybe it's the amount of weight that you lose. If you lose 5 pounds, you know that you're on track towards your goals. Or maybe you measure your waist circumference. So you know that when you're, getting smaller, that you're basically on track towards your goals. So what are things that are indicators? Let me give you more examples for you to start, helping you brainstorm. So let's say you choose in your career that you want to get a promotion. That's your prize goal. If you hire a mentor, you'll know that you're on track. If you finish a certain leadership course, you know that you're on track. If you get more clients, you know that you're on track. Or if you increase the percentage of closing sales, those are all indicators that you're more likely to get a promotion. Those are like small performance goals that you can aim for that will give you this confidence that you're making progress. And then finally, let's say the third example where you want to be a health coach and you want to make $1,000 a month. What are signs to look for that you're making progress? Well, first of all, get certified, then making a website, then creating ads, do cold outreach, set up a payment platform. So please don't overthink it. This is really just a rough draft where you want to write things down. It's impossible to plan and predict the whole journey. I was someone that used to get stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to plan everything from A to Z. It never works that way. You're just trying to brainstorm to help you for the following step in step 7, which is determining your first milestone. So step 7 is your performance goal. Pick your first milestone as your first performance goal. That's all you have to worry about right now. It's the first milestone that you're trying to reach. What is the first logical achievement that confirms that you're making progress? That is something that is much more short term, because that big goal, let's say 18% body fat, can take a year to get to that if you have about like 30 pounds to lose. That can take a long time and that feels overwhelming. But if you set a performance goal that is a little bit more short term, maybe it's to lose 2% body fat in 2 months, that is achievable. That is something that feels good and it feels like it's in reach. So you want to fill in this blank. To make progress in becoming insert role, my first milestone is to insert tangible achievement in insert amount of time. How do you want to make sure that your goal is a good goal that you're setting? Like, how do you want to know that your performance goal is the right one? You have to make sure that it is SMART. So if you're familiar with self-improvement and goal setting, the SMART goals are very popular because they work, but they can be a little bit ambiguous when they're just shoved in your face and you're trying to figure out how to navigate it. I have decided to implement the SMART goal in through my process. I think that it's the most applicable way to do the SMART goal because it makes more sense. Anyways, this is just my personal preference. But a SMART goal is basically making sure that your goal that you're setting for yourself is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. When you set a performance goal, it checks off 3 of those 5 requirements. For example, like I said earlier, to make progress in becoming a fit and lean girl, my first milestone is to lose 2% body fat in 8 weeks. In that example, you check the requirement of time-bound, which is 8 weeks, the requirement that it is relevant because you want to be a fit and lean girl. This is a role that is aligned towards that bigger vision. And then finally, you have it measurable because you're trying to lose 2% body fat. That is something that you can actually track and you can actually know that the goal is achieved. So let me give you example 2. To make progress in becoming a manager, my first milestone is to increase my monthly sales by acquiring 10 new clients per month for the next quarter. Again, it is measurable, it is relevant, and it is time-bound. And then finally, the third example is to make progress in becoming a health coach. My first milestone is to get certified through the 20 weeks Mind Body Green program. So It is definitely measurable because it's 20 weeks. It is relevant because it's aligned to your prize goal. And it is measurable because you get a certification, like you know that the goal is achieved. Now, part 3 will be to make sure that we get the 2 other requirements checked, to make sure that it is specific and that it is achievable. And after that, you will have all that is needed for you to be successful. You will have planned everything. You will have strategized everything. So I hope you already feel confident that you're on the right track. Part 3, process goals. So step 8 is to make it specific. This is where the magic happens. This is where most people actually fail because they will have all the things that they want to do, but they don't focus on the methodology to get there. But this is the most important part because process goals are the only thing that are actually within your control. For example, I'm gonna give you my personal example. Let's say my prize goal is to get a gold plate on YouTube. That means you get over 1 million subscribers. That feels like crazy to me right now. It's so long-term, it's so big. It's something that's going to take me years to get to. And that can feel very overwhelming. So I decided to focus on my first milestone, which is to get 25K subscribers because I'm at 17, so I'm really close. That's something that feels achievable. But I cannot actually control the amount of subscribers that I get. What I can control, though, are my specific actions and behaviors that give me the best chances to achieve that performance goal. So yes, my performance goal is to make progress in becoming a gold plate YouTuber. My first milestone is to get to 25K subscribers in 8 weeks, for example. This is a good performance goal, but then how am I going to get there? That's where you need to set up your process goals. This is where you need to get creative, that you need to plan and strategize. And this step actually takes a lot of time because you might need to do some research and consultation to make sure that you're setting yourself up for the most efficient way to get results. But it's perfect because if you're doing the challenge with me, we are starting September 1st. This is why we are preparing. We're not just jumping straight into a goal, like locking, we're going to do the goal. No, we need time to prepare. That's what makes you succeed. You know the saying, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So we are preparing because we are not going to fail. So really ask yourself, how will you achieve your first milestone? And you need to write those down. So for example, if you want to become a fit and lean girl, you will need to lose 2% body fat in 2 months, right? That's your goal. That's your performance goal. But you do that by eating 100 grams of protein a day, following a 2,200 calorie diet, and going to the gym 3 times a week for 30 minutes. But then you'll also need to be more specific about that. What food will get you to 2,200 calories? What does 100 grams of protein look like? What are your workout sessions? Like, you need to have everything planned out because honestly, once you add more specificity and more clarity, that means more consistency. The reason why people fail is because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to prioritize, but we are taking the time right now to figure that out. So when the time comes for you to actually do something, you won't have to waste any energy to try to figure out what you need to do. You will have already planned everything, and all that you need to do is to just do it. A lot of times people don't do something, not because they don't have the energy, the motivation, the drive to do it. They just are unclear about what they need to do. And we're going to make sure that we get as much clarity as possible right now in this step by being very specific about the daily actions that needs to happen. If you want to become a health coach, for example, you could maximize your learning by making sure you attend every session, that you put your phone on do not disturb, that you take notes, that you ask 1 question per session, and that you study 1 hour every day. So whatever you decide to do, it's within your control, and it's also something that you can track, which is also very important. Like, whatever you choose, it's something that you can actually check off every single day. Step 9, make it achievable. This is the final requirement into the SMART goal. Once you check that off, you will be set. But to make sure that it is achievable, it has to be realistic. So you need to look at your schedule to see if it's doable to do what you want to do towards your goals. So the first step to that is to pull out a monthly calendar. I like to do 1 month at a time. So take out your calendar and write down all your absolute obligations and responsibilities that you have to do. Like your prior commitments that you have committed to that you need to keep doing. Like, it could be school, it could be work, it could be like you're a parent and you have things that you need to do for your kids. These are things that are basically non-negotiable in your life. So write that all down. Like, you cannot change that. But then step 2 for that would be to block times that you will dedicate to your process goals. And don't specifically write what you're going to do. I just want you to block those times. So then when you look at your schedules for things that you have to do, when you have things that come in your way, like a friend asks you to go grab coffee, or maybe you have a dental appointment you need to do, or maybe you have a party you need to go at. If it falls within the block time that you have for your goals, you can't change that. That's a commitment that you have. You need to make success your responsibility. Your dream is your responsibility. So just like how you treat your prior responsibilities as a parent, as a student, as a job worker, where it's non-negotiable for you to do those things, your process goals should be the same way, because you're taking your dreams seriously now. The process goals need to fall in that same level of importance, because they are. There's no exception to that. You need to set boundaries, and everything else comes after those commitments that you have. So block those times. Whatever you feel like is the most realistic and comfortable for you. It's going to be a level of discomfort to some extent, because it's going to be a change in your routine, and it's going to be like some sacrifices that you make, but you are sacrificing some time now for a better future, for the dream life that you want, for the impact that you want to have. This is absolutely amazing. Those block times that you do is for future you that will be so proud that you put in the effort right now. Then after that, the third thing I want you to do is to have a list of your process goals. So all the little actionable steps that are aligned towards where you want to go, just put it in a list. So when you hit that block time, you kind of look at that list and be like, okay, what do I need to do? So for example, when I look at my life and the goal that I want to have, which is 25,000 subscribers, my means to get there is to post one presentation style video on YouTube per week. That's something that feels achievable for me. But if I just put that as my process goal, it's not enough, because there's a lot that goes into a video. So my list will look like researching, scripting, filming, editing, putting this thumbnail, finding the title, promoting the video, uploading the video. So there's a lot that goes into making a video, and that will be like some process goals that I have. So when I fall into one of those block times, I literally look at the list and be like, okay, what do I need to do next to get to that one presentation video a week? If you want to be that fit and lean girl, maybe it looks like meal prepping. Maybe it looks like setting out your clothes. Maybe it looks like going grocery shopping. You know, those are all the things that are required that you can control, that are aligned towards getting to that first milestone of yours. And for any day that you don't need to do anything, so let's say you have something that's related to your career, maybe it's something that you have 5 days a week and then you have the weekend, or maybe you're a fit girl, but you don't work out every single day, so you have some time where you usually would work out, but since you're not working out every single day, it's free. In those times, you need to journal. I don't care how long you journal for. It could be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what you journal about, as long as it is related to what's happening towards your goal pursuit. Because that way you are keeping your mind engaged. You're keeping your mind focused on that one thing, and you're allowing yourself to have tunnel vision. Journaling is literally a weapon. I don't understand how people feel resistant towards doing it or don't do it as a practice. I'm like, this is literally what brought me to where I am today, because it creates that self-awareness. It creates that drive. It makes the goal always close to me, because I'm literally making sure it's always on my mind. I know it's a little bit extreme, but if you want extreme results, you need kind of like extreme behavior. So if you want to be different, you got to do things differently. And I promise you, if you journal, you won't regret it. And my suggestion, if it feels uncomfortable to do it every single day, just do it on the days that you don't need to do like a big project or a big process goal. So now make sure that every week, you know, maybe what you do every single day will be a little bit different, but throughout a whole week, it will look the same from week to week. Every week should be pretty much the same thing until you reach that milestone. And I know you're going to have your lizard brain that's going to creep in saying, oh, I'm not making progress, or it's not working, or maybe I should do something else, or maybe I should add this, or I should change that. Don't do that. Stick to the plan. You are planning right now in a rational state of mind. You are doing everything right now before you're starting to prepare properly. So when you're in it, just trust the process, just follow through, just Just know that every little thing matters, details matter, and they will compound over time. You might not see it right now. It's going to be incremental change, but over time, it's going to be exponential. You're going to have a switch. You have to trust that. I promise you, that's what happened with me. It literally happens to every YouTuber that stick to it. In the beginning, you have literally no views. And then over time, suddenly things just pop up and you start blowing up. But if you would have quit when your lizard brain was like, it's not working, it's not worth it, you're not getting a return of investment, you're just going to stay average. So every time you feel that feeling of like, oh, I need to change things, or I want to focus on something else, don't do it. Stick to the plan, commit to it. And if you participate in my challenge, just know that if you reach your first milestone before the 8 weeks are over, just go back to step 6 and set your second milestone, basically. Step 10, the final step to this whole protocol. So far you have determined your prize goal, your performance goal, and then your process goals. That's amazing. You have actually set your goal. You have actually done the preparation, but the preparation has a second part to it. Yes, you have set the goal. Yes, you know how to get started, but how can you ensure that you stay committed? And I have a checklist for you to follow through to make sure that you stay committed. So that is the step 10, is to complete the adherence checklist. And I'm not going to give you the checklist right now because this was probably so much information. So your homework is probably going to like re-listen to this video to do the step by step. And if you want the written and the PDF for the steps, you can easily access that through my courses on Skool. It's free. Like, I don't know why you would not do it. But then when you set the goal and that you know that you can achieve the goal, how can you know that you will commit to it? And that's what the checklist will all be about. We will go about habits and rules and expectations and tracking methods. It will be all the little things, the worksheets that you need to fill out that will make sure that your preparation is complete. Because we just did the first half of preparation, which is setting goal. But now we want to make sure that we stay committed to the goal. Again, if you're interested in participating in the challenge and have accountability and support and access to PDFs and more direct access to me, just go through the first link in my description and sign up for the challenge. It's going to be so fun. We did one in July and it was extremely successful. That's why I'm doing this part 2. Also, if you want to know more about me, let's say you watch the whole video and you're like, hey, I kind of like Bianca. You can actually sign up for my newsletter where I share private stories about my personal self-improvement. So it's less about you in some way where I like help you. I kind of just get a little bit more personal on my newsletter. But I always end up every newsletter giving a free PDF and worksheet for you to like have something to work on and to try to apply something in your life. So I feel like it's extremely beneficial when you sign up for these, but this is really more for me and you to get connected on a deeper level if you really vibe with like my mindset. So on this note, I hope to see you in my Skool community. And if you have any questions, please write them down in the comments, or you can write them on Skool as well. I will answer to every comment, every question. So I love you so much. Thanks for watching until the end and taking your potential seriously. I want you to lead your life so then you can lead others. And together we will make the world a better place. I truly believe that. I will see you very soon in a new video that's going to be on how to stay committed to your goals. Mwah.